Click here to subscribe our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon to get regular updates of our videos. Hello friends, good evening to all of you. So I am back with another video on Sociology optional subject for UPSC CSE mains examination. In this video we are going to cover regionalism and decentralization of power under politics and society of paper 2. So friend, please do this share as much as possible so that more and more people will get benefited. Comment and like the video and ask any doubt if you have. And now you can also follow us on MB page, that is facebook.com/Unorthodox Academy. So friend, as you know that we are covering slot 5, that is politics, Western Indian, and paper 1 we have already finished topic 7, that is politics and society. In this video we are going to see regionalism and decentralization of power under politics and society of paper 2. So first we see the regionalism. So basically region is a geographical phenomena which is defined as natural area having common atmosphere, climate, vegetation, etc. And this way plateau, mountains, coastal regions, etc. are the regions. So a particular geographical regions helps to develop a common lifestyle, that is food, language, dress and other sharings and sufferings. Hence it is obvious that a common region will develop a sense of camaraderie or belongingness among its natives. So when this loyalty and belongingness surpasses every other interest, even the country, then it is known as regionalism. So basically regionalism is a pre-independence phenomena. It became predominant in post-independence period. The politics of regionalism started with the implementation of constitutional reform under the Government of India Act 1909, 1919 and 1935. The establishment and role of Justice Party in the Madras and to a lesser extent of Akali Dal in Punjab in pre-independence period are the example of emerging regionalism in India. So after independence there are 4 major landmarks in the development of regional politics. So first is that after independence democratic form of government was established. Its main aim was nation building on the principle of democracy, secularism, national unity and social justice. All parts of the country wanted a fair deal in nation building. They started competing with each other for their development. Anything short of expectation led to dissentiment and it resulted in the emergence of regional politics. Then there was an integration of the princely state. Small states were integrated with the big states. People continued to nurse loyalties to old territorial units, and this was the most important factor for the success of princes in elections. The princes often received overwhelming support in their former territories in the newly created states and relatively much less in other parts of the same state. Then third point is the reorganization of a state on linguistic basis also plays a very vital role in the development of regional politics. Then another factor which gave rise to national and parochial tendencies in the country was the personal and selfish ends of politicians. Immediately after independence, the struggle for power started among some parties. For enhancing their own authority and prestige, the regional and state leaders did not hesitate to weaken the authority of the center or in some cases of the states. So now we see the basis of regionalism. So basically regionalism is a multi-dimensional phenomena and its bases are varied and are first the geographical basis. So usually people relate their regional identity of certain specific geographical boundaries, and after independence integration of princely state resulted in the merger of small states into new big states. The loyalties of citizens were torn between old territorial boundaries and the new territorial boundaries or structures. So as pointed out earlier, this was the major factor responsible for the success of princes in elections, particularly when they contested from their former territories in the newly created states. However, it would be wrong to overestimate the importance of geographical boundaries. It is true that memories of old geographical boundaries of princely state still haunt the pupil and are exploited by political leaders, but it can hardly be denied that they are yielding place to new and bigger territorial identities like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Orissa. Now we consider the historical and social basis. So historical and social basis constitute the bedrock of the politics of regionalism. Several components in the category are not only important individually but also in conjunction with each other. History supported regionalism with culture, heritage, folklore, myths and symbolism. The most striking example is that of Dravid Kazhagam and the Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam in Tamil Nadu and Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. But history cannot be considered as the most important basis of regionalism. Economics and political factors have combined with history to generate regionalism. This can again be seen in the change in the stand of DMK from secession to one of autonomy within the federal framework of the constitution. Language is perhaps the most important mark of group identification. It has the capacity to unite the people together and make them work to improve their common destiny. In this sense, linguistic homogeneity strengthens a positive movement. Now we see the third basis, that is the caste. So an important example of caste factor providing impetus to linguistic regionalism can be seen in the case of Tamil Nadu. Tamil regionalism gained ground as a result of non-Brahmin movement. Non-Brahmin caste of Tamil-speaking region had been able to provide a powerful united thrust against Brahmin who had enjoyed unquestioned dominance in economy, society and polity. And the third basis is the religion. So religion like caste does not play a significant role except when it is combined with dominance and linguistic homogeneity, as in Punjab fed on a sense of religion orthodoxy and economic deprivation as in Jammu and Kashmir. If casteism reinforced and propelled linguistic regionalism in case of Tamil Nadu, the demand for the formation of Punjab Suba through presented in linguistic garb had religious overtones. They were mainly responsible for evoking pupils' political loyalties on massive scale rather than their love for their mother tongue. It is difficult to qualify the mix of communalism and linguism in this particular case, but some studies make it very clear that demand for Punjabi language state was certainly reinforced by regular invocation of Punjabi speaking masses loyalty towards Sikh region. Taking into account these three factors, that is language, caste and religion, one can say that the study of regionalism in Punjab and Tamil Nadu makes it very clear that political movement for regional demands were carried out formally in the name of language, but in reality they had substantive non-linguistic basis too. Now we see the fifth factor, that is the economic basis. So economic factor is the crux of regional politics. India is a developing country. The resources are limited while the demand for resources for the development of various regions is unlimited or disproportionate to resources. Economic policies have led to regional imbalance and wide economic disparities among various regions, resulting in discontentment among them. It may be recalled that the most of the demands for constituting new states were primarily based on allegedly unfair and unequal distribution of development benefits and expenditure in multilingual states. Movement for a separate Uttarakhand state in the hill district of UP, a Jharkhand state carved out of parts of Bihar, Orissa and a state of Bodoland comprising a part of Assam are examples of this type. The demand for separate state in these instances are mainly on the belief that these regions have been economically deprived by their respective states. Economic factors have usually assumed prime importance in regional politics. Now we see the last factor, that is the politico-administrative basis. So the political administrative basis of regionalism is also important, but politics as such does not create regionalism. It only accentuates regionalism. Politicians take advantage of the situation of regional discontentment and unrest. They convert it into movements for strengthening their individual and factional support bases. It is a known fact that fighting with Congress gave rise to Telangana agitation. Shiv Sena was able to flourish in Maharashtra because the support of Congress bosses. So regional political parties like DMK in Tamil Nadu, Akali Dal in Punjab and Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in Jharkhand are surviving because of regional sentiments. Border disputes like the one between Maharashtra and Karnataka is also based on regional sentiment. Another important fact of politics of regionalism is the real or assumed charges of political discrimination among various regions by the central ruling elite. So Selig Harrison believed that casteism and regionalism are two major challenges in front of India after independence. Regionalism in India reflected after independence in the following forms. The first is for the formation of new provinces or state on the basis of language and the geographical characteristics. Demand for separate country like Khalistan, Kashmir, Nagaland, Assam and etc. Then conflict between various linguistic groups, protest against outsider in a particular region like Manipur, Maharashtra, etc. Then separate political and economical identity for a particular region in terms of extra development packages, etc. So due to these regional problems, various committees and panels have been set up so that a pan-India nationalism can be developed, but as regional parties are becoming powerful and in the era of coalition government, the issue of regional issues and regionalism are entertained because of compulsion of decentralized politics, but as transportation, modern education, occupational diversity, spread of Hindi cinema, etc. are increasing, regionalism is getting weakened, but many a times regionalism become a big problem when it takes as separatist movement and violence against the other regions. Now we see the second topic, that is decentralization of power. So decentralization means sharing of decision making authority with the lower levels in institution and organization. It is called democratic as this sharing is based on the principle of democracy and democratization. It is argued that decentralization is essential for the functioning of a democratic system at different levels. So the major step towards the decentralization of power took place in 1992 through the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments. It is almost going to be the 2.5 decades of Panchayati Raj, and hence it is a right time to evaluate its socio-economic and political impact on society. So the impact of Panchayati Raj can be examined on the following dimension. The first dimension is that whether it has been able to empower SC/ST and women or not. Then second dimension, that whether it has strengthened democracy or not at the grassroots level. Then third dimension is that whether it has paced up rural development or not. And the fourth dimension is that whether it is providing or nourishing the rural leadership for the future or not. So in Panchayati Raj, reservation of SC/STs is 23% and for women in some state is 50% and other 33%. This reservation in Panchayati Raj has practically taken power to the doorstep of grassroots people who were really marginalized. Sisodia and Billimore, in their study of Madhya Pradesh village in their book Panchayati Raj and the Empowerment of Dalits, wrote that upper caste and influential people are coming to these representatives for their respective works. The lower caste are more confident against the upper caste dominance because the representative belongs to the lower caste. Then they are capable of transferring the priorities and funds to the common man. Then they are more confident in feeling protective against the upper caste atrocities and the exploitations. Undoubtedly, because of Panchayati Raj, empowerment of SC/ST and women has been realized and becoming stronger. So after independence, Indian society was largely illiterate and unaware of the democratic values. Now because of casteism, participating in Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections without being aware of their consequences, but after Panchayati Raj, first time a representative emerged within them who was able to listen and solve the problem. They are the representatives within which has strengthened the concept of decentralization of power. It is believed that the Panchayati Raj has empowered the grassroots masses because they can easily identify the representative who is capable enough to solve their problem. Hence, Panchayati Raj has been successful in empowering grassroots people. So under Panchayati Raj, there are 30 to 40 areas identified which varies from state to state, which has been put under the jurisdiction of Panchayati Raj, like primary education, basic health, family welfare, old age pension, sanitation, forestry, rural roads, drinking water, development of ghats, etc. These areas are related to day-to-day life of villages. Since legally and economically Panchayati Raj representatives are capable to solve this problem and directly monitor the development, has given fast pace to rural development. Now the bureaucratic insensitivity, unnecessary delays and other hazards in development have successfully checked. The pace of rural development is faster than ever as right to information (RTI) and the other social auditing are improving. It is believed that more transparency is going to come in this institution and it will further boost rural development. Panchayati Raj system has emerged as an institution of political anticipatory socialization, since it is giving a chance to nurture rural leadership in forms of awards, members, Gram Pradhans, Block Pramukh, BDCs, members of Zilla Parishad, etc. These people are really understanding the democratic values at the grassroots and looking forward to play a greater role as MLAs, MPs, etc. Hence, Panchayati Raj institution is nurturing the future political leaders and providing many options of leadership in democracy. Hence, Panchayati Raj institution is successfully socializing the future leaders. But there are certain criticism being faced by Panchayati Raj. So M. N. Srinivas believed that Panchayati Raj system has increased caste tension and groupism in villages and has diminished integrity and interdependence in the villages. Elections happen once in 5 years, but the tension remains for the next 5 years. He did not support this institution. Then Vivek Rai studies various villages of eastern UP and found that still power has not reached to the SC/ST and women. It is largely used by their patrons like husband, upper caste landlords, etc. Then Panchayati Raj has increased moral and economic corruption in villages. Earlier villages were far from it, but now even the common man is indulged in economic corruption. It is degrading the moral value of Indian villages. The above mentioned criticisms cannot be denied, but overall evolution of Panchayati Raj is more than positive. So after 1947, the democracy was surviving, but it has strengthened the roots of Panchayati Raj. It has not merely empowered SC/ST and women, but also given a new dimension to rural development and political decentralization. As Jay Prakash Narayan said, it is not the question whether Panchayati Raj institution is working or not. Rather, it is the responsibility of every Indian to make it successful, because failure of Panchayati Raj will be a failure of democracy. And this institution is helping to realize the goal of Mahatma Gandhi of Gram Swaraj. So thank you guys for listening and watching this video. Thank you.